The sky over the alien world was dark, almost heavy, as if the air itself carried a warning. Strange blue clouds twisted quietly above a wide stone valley, and sharp mountains rose like giant claws on each side. In the center of this valley stood the alien queen, tall, powerful, and calm on the outside, but something deep in her eyes was uneasy. Her war beast, her strongest living weapon, had vanished 2 days ago without a single mark on the ground, without sound, without scent. A creature that size should have been impossible to hide, yet it was suddenly gone. The soldiers around her whispered among themselves, nervous and confused. They had searched the forests, the rivers, the underground tunnels, even the burning battlefield. But there was nothing. The beast had simply disappeared. And now the queen faced something she rarely felt, uncertainty. She looked across the valley again, her eyes sharp like cold fire. The beast had been more than a weapon. It was a symbol of her rule, her fear, her strength. When enemies saw it, they bowed. When her own people saw it, they stood straighter. Losing it weakened everything she stood for. She kept her voice steady, but her mind was racing with questions she never wanted to ask. How could something so powerful be taken? Who was bold enough to do it? And why was there no trace left behind? The scouts returned one by one, shaking their heads. No signs, no prints. No sound, nothing. One scout stepped forward and spoke quietly. "My queen." Maybe the beast is no longer alive. The queen turned her gaze toward him. Her voice was not loud, but it was enough. "That creature does not die easily. Something happened. Something we have not seen before." She did not add the last thought in her mind. Something clever. A cold wind pushed through the valley, sending loose dust dancing around her feet. She felt something else in the air, an energy, a pull, a faint tremor under the ground. Her senses were sharper than any soldier's, and she could tell the land was hiding something. She closed her eyes for a moment and listened. Very far away, she felt something. A slow rhythm, like heavy footsteps. Suddenly, a young guard shouted from the far tower. Movement on the east side. All soldiers turned. The queen raised her hand, signaling silence. The valley fell quiet. Even the wind stopped. A low, deep thud echoed again. And again. The ground shook lightly as each step came closer. The soldiers tightened their grips on their weapons. Unsure if this was danger returning or something worse than before, the queen stepped forward. Eyes fixed on the fog rising between the rocks. Then a shape appeared, huge, slow, tired, her war beast. But something felt wrong. The creature's steps were uneven, its head low, its body covered in dirt and cuts. It looked like it had been in a violent storm or a war no one knew about. The soldiers gasped. The queen's eyes narrowed. Relief touched her for one brief second. Then confusion took over when she saw something strange in the beast's arms. It was holding someone, an alien. Not a creature from this world, a human. Small compared to the beast's size, covered in dust and scratches, barely conscious but alive. Completely alive. The queen's breath caught in her chest, not out of fear, but shock. Humans were rare on this side of the galaxy. Some believed they were weak creatures. Some believed they were dangerous. Some believed they should never be trusted. But none of her people believed a human could earn the protection of her war beast. The beast lowered itself slowly, cradling the human carefully, almost gently. The queen saw something in its eyes she had never seen before. Protectiveness. The human opened his eyes with effort. He looked up at the queen, breathing slow and shallow. There was no fear in his face, only exhaustion and a strange calm. He tried to speak, but only a cracked whisper came out. "I helped it." The queen's eyes sharpened. She stepped closer, studying the human's expression, the strange injuries, the quiet confidence in his voice. Nothing about him looked strong. Yet his eyes told a different story. What happened? She asked softly. The human swallowed and forced out words. It fell, trapped in the ground. Deep tunnel. I didn't run. I tried to free it. We both almost died. The queen stared at him. A human helping her deadliest creature? A creature that could destroy ships with one strike? And the beast bringing him back like a treasure? This was not weakness. This was something else. Something unsettling. The beast growled low, as if asking her to understand, to accept. Soldiers stepped back. They had never seen the beast communicate like this. The queen studied the human's hand resting against the creature's arm. Even injured, even small, he showed no fear. He had saved a monster. And the monster had saved him back. In that moment, the queen realized something very dangerous. This human had formed a bond with her. Strongest weapon. And bonds could change everything. Empires. Wars, futures. The queen turned her head slightly, giving her final order. Bring him to the inner chamber. Her soldiers hesitated. The beast growled again, protective, warning them not to hurt the human. The queen raised her hand. He is not a prisoner. He is under my protection. The valley fell silent. The war beast lowered its head in relief. And the human, barely awake now, whispered the words the queen could not ignore. I didn't save it because I had power. I saved it because it needed help. The queen froze. Simple words, yet something heavy moved in her chest. No alien soldier, no beast. No commander had ever spoken with such honest courage. Humans, she realized, were not weak, they were unpredictable. And unpredictability could reshape an entire galaxy. The inner chamber of the alien queen's fortress was a place almost no outsider had ever seen. It was built from dark stone that glowed with soft lines of blue energy, and the air felt heavy with power. Soldiers followed the queen inside, keeping a careful distance from the war beast. It walked slowly, never letting the human out of its sight. The human, weak but awake now, looked around with quiet wonder. He did not understand the symbols carved on the walls, the strange lights, or the guards watching him with cold eyes. But he felt something different the moment he stepped inside. This place had meaning to them. It was sacred in a way he could not explain. The queen stopped at the center of the room. Place him here, she said. The beast lowered the human gently onto a soft platform made of woven fibers that shimmered under the light. The human winced in pain but tried not to show it. The beast made a low sound, almost a worried one. The queen watched them closely. She had seen the beast tear through armies without hesitation, crush metal like paper, and destroy enemies with one strike. Yet now it looked protective, soft, almost loyal to this fragile creature. She needed answers. The queen stepped closer to the human. Her eyes glowed faintly, scanning him. Tell me again, she said. How did you survive with this monster? How did you earn its trust? The human took a shaky breath. We were both trapped. Rocks fell. It was hurt. Badly. Couldn't move. I tried to lift the stones. Couldn't. Tried again. And again. The queen's expression did not change, but something inside her shifted. Why? She asked. The human looked confused. Because it needed help. The queen tilted her head. You are small. You are weak. I know, he said, almost smiling. But that doesn't mean I walk away. The queen studied him for several seconds. She could not understand this kind of thinking. In her world, power ruled everything. If something was weak, it died. If something fell, you moved on. But this human had fought to save something far stronger than himself, with no reason except simple kindness. This made him dangerous. The human's voice softened. When I freed it, the beast protected me. We escaped the tunnel together. The queen's eyes narrowed. Together? Yes, he whispered. It didn't leave me behind. The room went silent. Even the soldiers stopped breathing. The war beast pressed its heavy head against the platform, as if confirming the human story. The queen turned away for a moment, thinking deeply. This bond was something she had never seen before. Not between her beasts and her people. Not between her soldiers and their leaders. Not in her entire empire. A guard stepped forward. "My queen, this is dangerous. A human cannot be trusted." The beast growled with a sharp, sudden sound, causing the guard to jump back. The queen raised her hand, silencing both sides. "Enough. He is not just a human now. He is connected to the beast. That makes him important." Another guard spoke carefully. "My queen, what if the human controls it?" The queen turned to face him fully. "No one controls that beast." Her voice carried a weight that made the whole chamber fall silent. The human watched this, still weak but more alert. "I don't control it," he said softly. "It chose to protect me." That sentence felt like a spark in the room. The queen walked closer to the beast. Her steps were slow, deliberate. She placed her hand on its massive head. "Why?" she whispered to it. "Why him?" The beast answered not in words, but in a deep, rumbling sound. A loyal sound. A sound she had never heard directed at anyone except herself. Queen stepped back. This human had done something impossible. He had earned the loyalty of her most powerful creature, and that meant he had changed the balance of her entire world. She looked at him again. "Human," she said, "what is your name?" He hesitated, then whispered it. The queen repeated it carefully, shaping the strange human sound with her voice. Her soldiers exchanged glances, shocked. Their queen had never spoken a human name before. The queen took a long breath. "You will stay here until I decide what to do with you." The human nodded slowly. He was too tired to argue, but the queen was not finished. "And the beast stays with him." Her guards gasped. The beast lifted its head with pride. The queen walked toward the exit. At the doorway she paused, her voice quiet but heavy with meaning. "Humans are not weak," she said. "I see that now." She left the room with a slow, thoughtful stride, her mind racing with new fears and possibilities. Outside the chamber, whispers filled the hallways. A human bonded with the war beast? Impossible. What will the queen do? What power does he have? Rumors spread through the fortress like fire. Inside, the beast lay close to the human, keeping watch. The human reached out and touched its rough skin. The creature made a soft sound, a sound of trust. The human whispered, "I don't know what comes next, but whatever it is, we face it together." The beast's eyes glowed. The galaxy, without knowing it yet, was about to change. The night around the fortress was quiet, but inside, the air was tense. The alien queen stood alone in her private observatory, watching the faint lights of distant stars move across the sky. Her mind was restless. She had ruled for many years with sharp logic and absolute control. Yet now something small, something human, had changed her world in a way she could not ignore. She turned the events over in her mind again and again. Her war beast, the strongest creature in her empire, had chosen to protect a human. Not because of power, not because of fear, not because of orders, but because the human had shown compassion in a moment when most beings would have run. That kind of thinking was dangerous. That kind of thinking was powerful. The queen knew she must decide what to do with this human. If she let him go, he might share secrets of her fortress. If she kept him prisoner, the beast would never obey her commands again. If she destroyed him, her thoughts stopped right there, because she already knew the beast would never allow it. A soft alarm suddenly echoed through the hall. A guard ran to her. "My queen, a rebel force approaches the fortress from the west side. They have weapons strong enough to break our gates." The queen's eyes narrowed. These rebels had been waiting for a moment of weakness. The missing war beast had encouraged them. Now that they believed her empire was divided, they wanted to strike. How many? She asked. Thousands, the guard said. And they move fast. The queen felt the weight of a decision pressing down on her. Without the beast, the fortress would fall. With the beast, she was unsure. It was loyal now, but not to her. It was loyal to the human. The queen walked quickly toward the inner chamber. Inside, she saw the human sitting up, still pale and weak, but awake. The war beast lay beside him, alert, sensing something outside. The queen studied the human for a moment. A rebel force is coming for me, she said. Thousands. They will destroy everything here. The human looked surprised. What do you want me to do? The question was simple, honest. It made the queen hesitate for a second. Finally, she said, I want you to come with me. The room fell silent. Even the beast stopped moving. The queen continued, the beast will follow you. And I need it for this battle. The human looked at the beast, then at the queen. You want me to control it? No, the queen said. You cannot control it. But it trusts you. That is enough. The human took a slow breath. His ribs hurt, his hands shook, but he nodded. I'll help. The beast rose instantly, as if the human's voice was a command of nature. Its eyes glowed bright, ready for war. Together, the three walked out of the chamber, queen, human, and beast toward the fortress gates. Outside, the sky burned red from rebel torches. Thousands stood in rows, weapons gleaming. Drums echoed through the cold night air. The ground shook from marching feet. The queen stepped forward onto the high wall. The rebels shouted in triumph. She is weak now. The beast is gone. Tonight her rule ends. A deep sound rolled across the valley, loud, heavy, full of power. The war beast appeared beside the queen, standing taller than the walls. Its roar filled the entire valley, shaking the mountains themselves. The rebels froze. Then came the moment no one could have imagined. The human stepped forward too, standing right beside the queen and the beast. He looked small, almost fragile, but he stood straight, his fear hidden by a quiet strength inside him. A whisper moved through both armies. A human? What is he doing there? Is he controlling it? No. The beast protects him. Confusion spread like fire. The queen raised her voice. You wanted to see weakness? Look again. The human placed a hand on the beast's arm. The beast roared so loud that the valley trembled. Flames burst from its mouth, lighting the sky. The rebels stumbled back, shocked and terrified. The queen spoke again, her voice cutting through the air. This human saved what none of you could. And now he stands with me. Leave now, or face the creature you thought was lost. The rebels hesitated only a moment, fear spreading faster than courage. Then they broke. Thousands turned and ran into the night, fleeing the valley, dropping their weapons as they fled. The mountains echoed with their retreat. The queen watched in silence. The battle ended without a single strike. The human lowered his hand, breathing heavily from the intensity. The beast nudged him, almost proud. Finally, the queen turned to him. Her voice was softer than ever before. You changed the fate of this world today. The human smiled tiredly. I just did what I could. The queen looked at him for a long moment, then nodded. You are free to leave. But I hope you stay. The beast has chosen you. And perhaps, so has fate. The human looked at the horizon, then at the beast. Then at the queen. I'll stay, he said. The war beast let out a deep, warm sound, almost like joy. And for the first time in her life, the alien queen felt something she never expected from a human. Respect. The galaxy would remember this day, not as the day the queen almost fell, but as the day a human stood beside a monster and changed an empire. The fortress was quiet the next morning. But the air felt different. Something had changed in the hearts of the soldiers, in the behavior of the war beast, even in the silent steps of the alien queen herself. The human, who had arrived weak and almost broken, was now at the center of every whisper across the empire. He had slept through most of the night, watched over by the beast that refused to leave his side. Its giant body blocked the doorway, its glowing eyes scanning for danger even when the human rested. When sunlight finally came, soft and golden, the beast nudged him gently awake. The human opened his eyes slowly. "Morning already?" he whispered. The beast huffed, a low, warm sound that almost felt like agreement. A few minutes later, the door slid open. The alien queen entered, her steps calm yet sharp. She paused when she saw the beast still guarding the human like a loyal soldier. "You slept," she said. "I tried," the human replied with a small smile. "It's not easy when a giant creature is breathing next to you." The queen almost smirked almost. "It breathes because you are alive. Do not forget that." The human sat up straighter. "What happens now?" The queen did not answer immediately. Instead, she studied him quietly, as if trying to understand something that still confused her. Then she spoke. "Last night, an entire army ran from this fortress because you stood beside us. Today, more rebel forces may come, or they may flee the galaxy in fear. But one thing is clear. Your presence has shifted the balance." The human frowned. "I'm just one person." "Exactly," the queen said. "One person. Yet everything changed." She turned to the beast and placed her hand on its head. It accepted her touch, but its eyes stayed on the human. "This creature has never shared loyalty with anyone but me. But now it protects you. That bond is rare. Perhaps impossible." The human looked down, unsure what to say. The queen continued, "I must understand how this bond works. I must understand you." He shifted uncomfortably. "I don't know how to explain any of it. I just tried to help." "Yes," the queen said softly, "and that is what I do not understand." Before he could respond, a loud alarm echoed through the chamber. Soldiers rushed in, bows ready, blades glowing with energy. "My queen!" one shouted. "A message from the outer watchtowers." "What is it?" the queen asked. They saw something in the northern sky. "Not rebels. Something else." The queen's eyes narrowed. "Describe it." The soldier hesitated. "It looks human." Silence fell. The human blinked, surprised. "Human? Here?" The soldier nodded. "A ship, small, damaged, trying to land." The queen turned slowly toward the human. "Is someone searching for you?" "I don't think so," he said, confused. "I wasn't part of any mission. I was traveling alone before everything went wrong." The queen's voice lowered. "Then why is another human here?" The question hung heavy in the air. The queen gave her order. "Prepare my ship. I will go to the landing site. And she pointed to the human, "comes with me." The beast growled in agreement and stood. "No," one guard interrupted. "My queen, it is too dangerous to bring him. What if this new human is part of a trap?" The beast stepped forward, baring its teeth. The queen raised her hand. "He comes. And so does the beast. If this new human means danger, we will see it. Then perhaps this is an answer we need." Within minutes, they traveled through a narrow canyon toward the crash site. The wind blew sand across the path, and the beast walked beside the human, blocking the worst of the dust. When they reached the open plain, the crashed ship sat smoking on the ground. Its metal hull was cracked, its lights flickering weakly. The queen stepped forward with steady caution. The human stayed close behind her, while the beast guarded both. A small door on the ship opened. A figure stepped out, thin, tired, wearing a torn suit with human markings. His eyes widened when he saw the queen, but when he saw the beast, he froze in fear. Then his gaze fell on the human standing between them. "You," he whispered. "We thought you were dead." The human's heart jumped. "You know me?" The man nodded. "Yes. You went missing weeks ago. We searched every route. No signals. No debris. Nothing. We thought your ship was destroyed." The Queen watched them closely, studying their words, their expressions, their tone. "Why are you here?" she asked the newcomer. The man swallowed hard. "Our scanner caught an unusual energy reading from this area. Something powerful. We followed it. We didn't expect to find this." He looked at the beast again and stepped back in fear. The human stepped in front of him. "It won't hurt you." The man stared at him. "How can you be so calm?" "That thing it saved me," the human said firmly. "And I saved it." The Queen watched the newcomer's shock. This was the kind of truth that traveled far. Too far. The newcomer hesitated. "Are you staying here?" The human looked at the Queen, then at the beast, then at the alien world around him. Finally, he nodded. "Yes, this place needs me." The newcomer's eyes widened. "You're choosing them?" "I'm choosing what's right," he said softly. The Queen watched this silently. Then she spoke with unusual calm. "Human, you have a place here. A rare place. If you stay, you become part of something new. Something your own kind may not understand." The human smiled gently. "Maybe that's why I should stay." The beast lowered its head beside him, almost like a bow. The newcomer stepped back slowly. "If you need us, we will come." The Queen nodded once. "Then go. This world is no longer yours." The ship lifted off, leaving dust swirling in the air. The Queen turned to the human. "Your choice. It changes more than you know." The human placed a hand on the beast. "Then we face whatever comes next together." For the first time, the Queen allowed a small, real smile. "Together," she said. And the galaxy shifted again.